Yo yo yo, good evening. Exciting day today. Race announcements for Mobile Race. And partially for that reason we're going to play some AI rather than jumping over to BGA. Leave that for the future. I'm going to play 4-player Xeno Invasion today. I have the online server open as well if anybody shows up. For now we'll play solo against 3 AIs. So I'll start a new game here. And we'll be off. Alright, so I see a decent amount of military here and an insane combo in this. Could theoretically go full alien here. But ATI and Deserted Alien Colony is a really expensive combo. We can fuel one of those things. But this seems better. Like, we have 5 already towards this thing. And keeping this seems prudent. Given this opening, this goes well with Alpha Centauri, but we have way too good of an opening with this homeworld. So I think this is a pretty clear way to play this. So, opponents are likely to produce, trade, settle. I guess lots of settles, typically. So we could probably just make a trade here, I think. So, explore, dev, settle, discard 2. Pretty trivial. What's better? It's almost impossible that we go into blue here. Production military in this. It's a couple. It's basically a meaningless decision. I guess this is just better. I'm not gonna dev. Opponents play military, so everybody's military at the moment. And they both pass on subtle. So we're all even on tempo, and we have 9 cards in hand, which is great. So, we draw our rebel base. The rest is pretty relevant. This is not bad. This is okay, I guess. Deving isn't even really useful yet because it doesn't allow us to play anything we can't already play. It's useful in that we can turn useless cards into builds, for example. I mean, this is just points for now, so I'm more interested in drop ships for the moment. We have exactly 3 cards we want to get rid of. Explore powers, we're tied with this player, so we have a slight advantage in explore. Kind of weird that both these players played a military dev and didn't settle. I guess this one makes sense for the explore power. Playing against AIs is so different than against humans. So, like, I don't know that I really want to dev here. We're at 9 cards, we could explore +5 to find like one more piece. And then start. Don't really want to play either of these ideally. But settle is pretty likely to happen. I guess not that likely. Neither of these players likely to settle, and this guy's going to trade, so I guess settle is actually probably not going to happen for once on round 2. Which is interesting. Very often in this format there's settles on round 1 and 2 from AIs. I mean, this player could still settle, but it's not very likely. In which case, we could settle. I don't expect any produces. So settle's not that good. I don't know, it feels like... I mean, I want to push builds because of our hand size advantage. But it feels like +5 might be good here. I used to be like a pro at military, now I'm like, I just don't like military anymore, and I'm just like second guessing everything. What is the play here? I just hate Explore +5 nowadays. So much. But like if we dev and then Explore +5 and there's a dev, we're screwed. So I think it's +5 or +1. +1 we could overflow. I think I'm at +5 here, but I might replay from this point forward. There actually is a settle somehow. Oh yeah, Combined Explorer. That's so not used to Xeno Invasion Combined Explorer, since I don't explore anymore. Or +5, I mean. So yeah, that would make Explorer +5 so much better than I was thinking. So there's a settle, no produce. I don't know if we want this or this. I feel like we maybe want to produce. Just a passive draw every couple rounds. Versus having to call trade and only getting it once. Basically it's like a 2-card, and this will maybe get 3 eventually. For free. This is like a 2-card advantage because we spend a card by calling an action. It doesn't inherently give a card. I mean, this is better than this, I guess. There's no dev. Not really too interested in bank. Three, 4, 5, 6 military now for Xenos. Just play this as a good to trade once we dump some of our hand. I think I need to just start playing faster. I'm just like taking too long, boring myself here. We have 3 really good worlds we want to get out. We have a good dev. This is okay. Like we already have a full hand of stuff to play for almost the entire game. We're still missing a bit of military though. So we need to dev next round to reach a settle as soon as possible. I think we don't care about these too much. But I mean, yeah, something like that. So 7, that's fine. Settle this, I think. It's an extra card. Basically we're sacrificing a point for a card, which I think I'm happy to do here. And then we'll dev, paying 3, which is okay. If there's an Explorer, we get to keep an extra thing like this, maybe. So dev settle produce. So discard 2. We have, I mean, I guess if we don't get the military for these, we could end up playing this. Discard 2. Huh. This might actually be worth it here. If we can. We'll get 2 cards back, which is crazy. Pay 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I think we might have to sacrifice too much though. 1, 2, 3. 4. And then one of these. Is it worth it? It might be. I mean, 2 cards back already. I feel like that might be the best play here. I'm gonna try it. So we're gonna pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. And settle this. And now get wrecked by settle. Also, I haven't been paying that much attention the past round. So this guy's a 4-point engine now. 2-point engine draws a lot. Nothing. Settle here would suck. Okay, well that's good. So we fill up. Still don't have... Well, we can get the 9-9 out with this at least, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost. Civilian world. Okay, well, I mean now... Certainly a dev, I guess, to reach this if there's a settle. Explore, trade, produce. Lots of stuff we don't need. Guess we could start with this theoretically, given how things are going. No settle. Do we want to? This is what happens, you fill up your tableau with garbage, and so like if we play this, and then next round there's no settle, we play this, and then suddenly we can't even get the 9 military. If we'd have this, we go to 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, and then play this down to 6, 5 on it. Unconsume, 6 unconsume. At least nobody's X2ing yet. I think I'm gonna play this. It just feels like the correct play, but I'm not 100% sure. So dump this, probably this. Draw 2 on produce. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So we have to dev. Dev, consume. Ooh, trade league, not good. Scary. So I guess we play this. Pay 2. Take a chip, draw a card, discard a card for a chip. Dev. There's the settle and no produce, that's interesting. That can't be bad. No consume either. Which is interesting given 2 players have this. Well, I mean, one of them's us, so it's not that surprising, I guess. Since we can call it ourselves. Discard 2. One, 2. Dev this. For 1. Settle, dev settle. Can we even get the rebel homeworld at the moment? Probably not. 1, 4, 5, not even close. But if we dev next round, just making sure here, 1, 4, 7, 8, 9 for that, that's good. So these 3 are fine. Can keep this for a theoretical 12th card. Or we're 2 off from this. I guess dev is not that likely to happen. What's got the higher upside? I think we'll do it this way. Settle that. Well, we could trade actually. Oh no, we need the good. We need the good. Let's not do anything silly here. Oh, there's dev settle produce. this can't be bad. Drawing 3 cards unproduced. Okay, well, what are scores? You have nearly double the next player. This guy cranks for like 4. This guy 8. So 20, 18 with medium hands. 20, 18, and then 22 with no hand. So there's no possible way we can lose here. 20, 18, 22. So 20. This guy's the most dangerous player. And it's not close. I guess this guy's more dangerous because if somebody explores, he can play a 6 dev. So 18. So we're up by 13 on this player. 14, 15. So yeah, so we just ended here with a settle. 3-point play, 3-point play. Alright. So, 4-player win against AIs. Nobody in the lobby. For 6, 22, 21, 18. Five, 9, 6, 0. And against AIs, with military, there's so many ways to play that there's probably a couple things we could try here, just for fun. And I want to set up just some kind of replay display. So very quickly going to add a text overlay here, because I've been slacking off. Just make a new one. Second. Let's call it like rewind replay. Throw that on somewhere that makes sense. I guess for now I'll just make it large or something. Different color. Hopefully that won't interfere too much with the interface for now, but I'll have a look at it later and see how it looks. Hopefully I won't forget that it's on. So we'll do some rewind replay here. Yeah, good enough for now. So final round, no, nothing to think about. Second last round, nothing to think about. Third last round, nothing to think about. Here, certainly, well, not really. Or, sorry, the round before. Because there's no settle, it's fine. And the one before, kind of, so we can redo this one. And just go with this, just theoretically, to try, ignoring this, and well, something like this. And we would presumably call settle. There's a dev. Pay 1. Oh, right, of course. We don't have that dev. Settle, probably this, and then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 9. Okay, I thought the interface was bugged, but no. So play that, and then we probably settle again. Oh, interesting. We could produce and we just settle to get our yellow good back. That might be kind of cheating, because we shouldn't really know that they're going to settle here, and they don't anyways. What happened? Okay. It doesn't let you click done if you don't do that. Choose action. So right now my military is 6 for Xenos. Oh, nice. Well, that's easy. Devon all produces. Pay 2. Now we just settle out the rest of the game. Does it produce? But it's fine. Discard 3. So we're at 8. This is 8, so what's better? 35. Hard to say. I guess dev on balance is probably better. They're more likely to settle. And settle is bad when they're Gonna X2. Or not great. So this way we win 43-30, 21-19. What else? So before this, we chose trade, which is probably fine. And the round before we chose dev, which is pretty much automatic, but the dev that we play might not be. Yeah, so we did this, and that worked out, but let's try the more standard route. So drop ships, paying 3. Like that, maybe? I don't know. The point of these replays is not to make the perfect place, but just to try an alternate route and see how it goes. And then settle this. Although maybe we settle the 1-1 actually first. Yeah. I don't really want to settle the 1-1 if I don't need to. We'll trade here. Trade that. Okay, so what do we have now? Still need 3 Xeno and 1 or 2 military. We have the 3 Xeno here. Settle, settle. And this is 8 points with this, so I guess we'll turn cards or good cards in our hand into, we'll cycle them to be able to play devs. There's a dev now though. Pay 2 or discard 2. Guess we have to pass on dev, but we don't want to. Go down to 3 here, which might be okay. I think maybe we just try this quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play this. Oh, but we can't trade it though. I was thinking it's fine because we can trade the yellow good, but we can't. Oh, we have to explore, I guess, or trade. Yeah, this is the ugly military situation. Now there's a settle forced upon us. Oh, we got lucky though. So discard 7. Play that. Now we trade, I guess. Nice, they just settle. Still pretty awkward hand size and stuff. Score-wise, we're only up by 8 on this guy who drew into the blue craziness. I guess we would trade here. And that is 3 points only. Well, 5, I guess. Dev or settle. Settle, I guess. And if there's a dev, we'll play our best one. Discard 2. So I guess this is it here. So this way we actually lose. That's interesting. Potentially partially because we had to pass on one dev. Or we didn't actually pass that time, did we? But yeah, it's mainly because with this sequence he draws this, which is crazy. So, I mean, our score is pretty good. Did we ever pass on dev? Probably not. So here we call the dev, we play that, settle that, nobody devs here, and then the next round we reach that. Yeah, so we didn't pass on anything, so we didn't lose any tempos. Just the Free Trade Association killed us. Like, how many chips does he end with? 32 VP chips. Yikes. And anything else? So this, I guess the settle here is kind of debatable. Let's try the low card flow path. Yeah, I don't like it though. Given there's no produce here, it's just not very good. But we'll try it. And then here we would dev settle produce. So we're left with the kind of same situation as earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I mean, this worked out pretty well, so I guess we'll try it this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Settle that, draw 2, trade. Dev. This is similar to what happened earlier. It's basically the same thing, except we swap these two. So this is just going to be a slightly worse version. There's not a whole lot of point playing this out. Alright, so we'll move on to game 2. Hide the rewind replay thing. So we have some yellow stuff. This is just like a way in for your hand to the last one. But it's not bad. Not bad. Maybe playable if we get diversified or something. Pretty straightforward. We trade, of course, each to settle, no produce. Discard 1, settle New Vinland. Pay 2. Not sure which of these two. So we're going to go to 5 cards here. Probably gonna want to settle. If we settle and there's a dev, we would go down to 2, 1, 0. So I guess this is probably a bit better. Try like that. Not a whole lot of production. Maybe we just produce. Produce trade is 2.5 cards per action. Ooh, we drew diversified. But I mean, we don't. This is so much worse than the yellow for that purpose. But it's still a possibility for the future. Like if there's a dev here, no settle. I mean, settle's almost certainly gonna happen. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with stuff to produce here. Mining conglomerate, pass settle. No thanks. I wonder if we do play mining conglomerate there, if an AI adjusts and plays a brown production world. Now we trade certainly. Get settled again. Trade, I imagine, is good. This player, I guess, will produce. This guy's in bad shape, but at least has a 4-point engine. Would have liked to settle, but cards. Where's Trade League? Nope, not there. So, Tourist World, Galactic Clearinghouse, Public Works, Robots. Certainly we have to build here. I guess settle is the build. Could make it x2, I guess. So red is going to consume or produce. I guess x2 makes sense, maybe. Green is going to trade. And then yellow is ambiguous. He has 2 military. Could theoretically produce, he draws 2 on produce. But I mean, he has 8 cards in hand, so he might dev though. So I don't feel like x2 is that great. Plus we have -1 to settle, so I feel like settle might not happen here. So dev, settle, consume, produce. So what happens if we play this? Go down to 6, down to 2, 3, 4, 5. We do this, doesn't do much. This doesn't do anything, this doesn't work. So it's Public Works or Robots, or Bank, I guess, theoretically. But no, Public Works doesn't, I mean, it gets us, no, that's no bad, we'll just do this. Totally fine. So pay 3. Something like that. Settle this. Pay 3. consume 2 goods for 3 chips, and I guess we could also, well, it's too late because I drew cards, but could have taken 2 cards there. It's not that good. And then I guess we just start X2ing. Let's see. What were the different calls here? So this guy dev'd and passed on his own dev. Interesting. X2 here makes sense. Produce. This guy's an 8-point engine because of this guy producing, at least for that round. But yeah, this guy called dev and I think passed on dev. Maybe he played colony ship. Nope. But yeah, I guess the settle produce is more valuable to Leech than whatever dev had planned. So engine-wise, this player has a 4-point engine, 2-point engine. So yeah, X2 is fine. If we get a produce, it's a 12-point engine. And I mean, we can each dev and settle. Nice. So we have a 12-point engine, this guy's a 8-point engine. So we're going to be ahead of him very quickly. We're going to tie him here. And we have more than that actually. Well no, not if we don't produce on the ground. So yeah, just keep doing that. We can't lose to this guy. And so we just need to worry about mainly this guy, I guess. Because he draws so much on produce. No produce this round though. So dev, settle, consume. If we play public works, does it help us? If we produce the most browns, probably. If we do that and that, it's not that helpful. This plus this is okay. We're passing this. I think this is probably best. Do we care about public works, basically? Go down to 1, 2, 3. Or 5 if we don't play this. So I think maybe we play this and keep the cards for this. Because this is not benefiting us at the moment. Maybe this, saving this, could get us an extra card. No, we get an extra card this way. Guaranteed. So no risk. We produce next round and there's no settle and there's a dev. Do we play this? Probably. Oh boy, this guy's starting to look a bit dangerous. So we might actually play that. We don't need the consume power. So I think we'll discard like this. 2 for 3. 1 for a chip and a card. 9 chips in the pool. We're tied with this guy. Yeah, he has 3 cards in hand, but he's going to draw 1. Well, he's going to draw a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a bit scary. But that's how we crank, so I guess we do it. Interestingly, he produced anyways. Settle produce. So all in on this, getting 2 back, or if we play this, it's costing 1, get 1 back, produce, draw 1, we go to 5, and we can play this again next round. So I suppose this may be better. And we would consume the good here, and this one here, and these 2 here. That seems good. Let's go with that. Pay 1. Oh, what? There's consume. Might still work out, I guess. We could get 2 cards here if we wanted. I mean, we just get an extra point, because we can turn the card into a produce, so yeah, that's fine. I don't know how this is going to work, so I guess if we do it this way first, can't mess up in the next two. Dev settle x2. Although this guy can't play a 6 dev and a settle, so that's good. So what are we doing? This or nothing. So that's 3-point play. So this is certainly better. So we're going to pass on dev. This can't be better. Okay, 2 gets for 3 VPs. Rare for a cardnet ship. Good for a cardnet ship. Different kinds. Produce. That's way over. Doesn't matter. So we win by 10. Nice, nice. Nobody in the lobby. Four-player win. Homeworld's 240. I think there was one thing I wanted to replay, maybe. Something I was curious about. But I don't exactly remember. Just turned on the replay thing. So, late game there wasn't that much important. But here I called settle, there's produce. I think this is pretty straightforward. This round here I traded, which is probably fine. The round before I traded as well, which is fine. Before that, right, it's around this area that there was some ambiguity. So here we, in actuality, we produced, and then we don't have much option of what to do. We could play this just to draw 2, to have a draw engine. That might actually be better than what I did. I'm kind of curious to try that out just for fun. So we'll go diversified here. Or we could even do this. And hope, yeah, so that's what I want to try. I want to see if we play this, does an AI play a brown production world, just out of curiosity. Pay 3. So the answer in this case is no. And we would trade, reach this settle, and I guess produce. Hope there's a settle. In one of the next 2 rounds. Can't be too bad. This guy produced, which is awkward. If he produces on here, he blocks us. And I guess he will. And if we do this, we go down to 2, 3. I can't leech this next round, which sucks. So we can't even dev here. Awkward. Wait, what? Right. Now we could theoretically naked x2, but it's a bit sketchy. Although if there's a is it sketchy? If there's a dev, it doesn't really do anything. If there's a settle low, we're fine. I don't know, I guess we'll try it. Doesn't work. It's not that bad because we get cards. Now we can't really x2, we can produce though. Good dev. Trade league, so good. If we call dev and there's a settle, we can't leech this. I guess we just produce. Trade. Pay 6. At this point we're gonna go trade strat, I guess. 3, 4, 5. Huh. What's going to happen here? We're going to go down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably going to be settling. 5, 4. Can't play this. I think we go like this. Trade the good, draw, and then settle. So this gets us an extra, yeah, for sure we play this, I'd imagine. Pay 4. Consume. Discard 2 for chips. Dev. Consume. Pay 5. I don't know if I made that play correctly, though I guess if there's a settle we could play this into this, so it's not that bad. If there's no settle, if we play it G-Fed, what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, we keep 1, which is maybe okay. We have to play this. Indubitably, pay 4. It gets us the same number of net card gain as this does, so. I'm gonna go down to 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we just ignore G-Fed here. It's so good, but deficit spending is pretty good too. Yeah. I think we'll try this way. Oh, we only have two blue production worlds here. But, I don't know. Without looking too deeply into it, X2 feels correct. Discard 1. Is it Dev? Which is awkward. Feel like we don't Dev. And then probably don't discard for chips. Oh, I guess we do. Do 1. Well, no, we do 2 then. 9. Yeah, we can play G-Fed into this. Forgot about the produce from this guy. So used to having to produce from my own engines. And X2, final round. No, there is a Dev. Discard 1. Best Dev's little combo. Certainly. Probably this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Settle that. So 50, 35, 23, 28. What actually happened? 44, 34. So we're up by 6, he's up by 1. But this is like a completely different game. And the change was to play this instead of this. But yeah, it changed everything, the whole sequence. And other option would be to play diversified here, which seems wrong to me. Because we have the 2 easy colors. We already discarded a couple of the ways to get the other color, including the best way with the yellow 3-1. But I guess we'll try it. And just before I move ahead, was there any other debatable play before? The produce itself is a bit debatable, but it's not bad. It can't be bad here. And then round 1, there's no, yeah. So this will be the final experiment. Sounds like the name of an album I know, actually. we're in the mood for it. Might as well put it on. I don't listen to Arion enough. So now we would trade. Oh, we did end up drawing a green world already. Easy game. We probably have to settle, or we could naked produce. I should know that they're not going to settle here. But this was the same situation earlier where I was like not expecting settle often enough and therefore called to settle, or whatever the situation was. But I had a feeling that with these 0-2-4 card hands that there wouldn't be a settle. Discard 1. There's a produce, so we'll certainly play this one. Pay 3. I don't know. And trade? Trade is 6 cards. Produce actually probably makes more sense, yeah. So settle, produce. Little consume, produce. Seems okay. Pay 4. Nobody has any brown worlds yet still, but so actually, we're not even going to use this consume power, but this doesn't help us because we have, yeah, I guess maybe this. Go down to 3 after consume. I mean, we have excess consume powers, some big worlds, I think, and like the 4th color, so I think we maybe just go replicant robots here. I'm never gonna play this. No builds. Dev. Would like to see him settle, obviously. We're down to 2 if we play this. Really seem worth it. 3, 6, 9, go to 10, and the next round leech something instead. Oh yeah, the game ends here, so certainly we would play that if we noticed that. And I guess we just win 29, 26, 23, 13. So we win barely with a diversified way. Alrighty. Play another game. Actual one. So what do we got here? Expensive stuff. So most likely we're gonna play this homeworld. First of all, although +1 luck might be relevant with this opening hand. Don't expect we can ever get both of these out, which means this is probably a discard. This is awkward, so we're going to spend a bit of extra time on this. We're gonna have to +1/+1. There's a settle. We go down to 3 if we play this, which we probably will have to. And then what? Explore to 5. Could also go down to 0 for this, which seems a bit sketchy. But yeah, I mean, this seems fine. There's almost no way we would play this card ever. We have to like draw into dev enablers to make it worthwhile, considering that we have Galactic Homefront. Not that mining robots is any good, it's just there's at least combinations that we can draw into where this is more combinations where this is useful. Whereas this, there's just not that many. And even with dev enablers, this isn't even that good because it becomes kind of redundant overkill. So I think we go like this, and then we have the +1, and it's just never a great situation because it's so likely they're going to settle too, like 95% or something. But at least this gives us the possibility of drawing into better than this as our first settle. For example, Mining World. I guess I could have discarded this, but anyways, it's not going to matter. No dev. If there was a dev, we would have been able to go all in on these two theoretically. Probably wouldn't be worth it though. So we pay 3. Almost certainly like this. We're gonna have just enough to leech this if ever there's a settle electron when we trade, which is amazing. Although we'd lose this unless there's an explorer. All trades. So what do people have? Weird. Wow, this guy's got a crazy opening. Scary. Oh, we draw blue combos. The produce is really bad. I mean, somebody's gonna produce. Most likely. But I mean, hand sizes don't really need produces, so maybe not. But I feel like this player is very likely to produce. And then we both get 5 cards out of 1 action, which is crazy, so maybe it won't produce. We could settle. If there's a dev, we could play this theoretically. We don't really need these since we have this. If we settle and there's a dev, we can't play this obviously. If we dev, there's a settle, we can't play this and this. If we explore and there's a dev and a settle, go to 9, 3, 0. Viable. And I mean, dev and settle is decently likely to happen here. And our hand is really expensive too, for what it is, like for what we're getting out of this stuff. And if there's dev and settle, we go Expedition Force, Sarno Mudlar. How does that look? Did this and then these? I don't know. It's expensive, slow, not that strong. Like one of them is okay, but not that great. I feel like the blue is maybe a bit of a red herring. I want to get this out and this out. And go from there. I think I'm going to +1 here. So discard 1. Certainly play a Production World. Although we could play this and trade, but meh. Big ol' meh on that. Go down to 6 if we dev. There's no produce here. If we dev, we go down to 1. At what point are we giving up on this blue stuff? I think we go like this. We produce, what happens now? This guy's no hand right now. He's going to trade for 5. Never get over how different it is playing against AIs. It's like a prime spot for one of these two to play trade league. Is anybody likely to produce? This guy might produce, probably not though. Certainly not, certainly not. So maybe I should be producing here. It gives this guy 5 cards for 1 action, this guy nothing much. This guy 4 cards for 1 action. I think we might have to, or dev. Problem here is they don't dev often, and the most likely situation if we produce here is one of these two settles or both settle, and then it's just not that great for us. But I mean, if we dev and there's a settle, that's not that much better. Because there's going to be a consume, so we lose our good, and windfalls are just not good against AIs unless we get this out. Dev, settle, go down to 4, lose our good. 5, want to produce. I think I want to produce here on the off chance that there is a dev and no settle. I'm not happy either way, but I don't know. I need to get a... Actually, I trade for more. I trade for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get 7 cards for 2 actions. So that's getting close to being worth it, just in and of itself. But yeah, sure enough, settle, trade. Now is this even worth it? Basically trading 3 cards for a chip. And when we trade, we lose the good back. So it's 3 cards for 2 points. But if we don't, we go to 7, trade, infinite. And if there's no dev, we just overflow infinite. So awkward. Looks like if there's a dev next round, it's so sad. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another thing we could have done here was naked traded. In hindsight, that could have been pretty good. It just doesn't feel correct. I'm like only 51% sure though. Again, we're relying on them to dev. It's so bad. I guess AI, it's so awkward. I hate relying on AIs to dev. It's just frustrating. But like, I can't really dev because if I do, I just lose my goods because AIs consume all the damn time. So I have to like close my eyes. Like I've been in this situation 100 times now. It's like close my eyes, so hope one of them devs. They're not going to dev. Yep. And now that basically cost me a point, because I could have had that out last round for the same cost. So it basically cost me a point at the chance that they would dev here. Which is just punch to the gut. I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do against AIs in that spot? That means not produce. Call the dev, pass on settle, then produce. Like, it's... I'm gonna have to replay this spot. That spot. Okay, so as played, Discard 2. And we're gonna overflow. Or no, we're gonna hit 10. I don't expect this to ever happen at this point. Trade a brown good, get the rest. So this guy's gonna produce probably twice and then crank for 12. Although producing twice doesn't really work to crank for 12 because if somebody consumes, they lose the 2 goods here. But he is gonna produce. Def's pretty good if there's a settle, which often happens in this situation. Play this into this and keep 1 card and draw 3 back. That's really good. I don't expect there to be much better play than that. Yep. So pay 5. Don't play this card that often. So you want Imperium cards, brown cards. There's no Imperium military worlds. Oops. Keep 1 more. I mean, with Imperium cards you get military, so something like that. Oh, we're losing 2 more anyways, whatever. Probably keep this. Now we're praying for an explorer, but that's never gonna happen. And we have no settles. Okay, so this player is going to x2 for 8. This player is going to x2 for 8. Maybe produce. Because it's hoping nobody x2s, I guess. But that doesn't really make sense. But in any case, it could produce here, and this one will consume. So no builds are likely to happen here. So we could dev ourselves. Lose our 2 brown goods to here, draw back a bunch. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, they all x2. That may not be ideal. I guess we're gonna trade. I don't think the game ends here. 8, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. 3 left. Maybe it doesn't. Doesn't look like it. No produce. We can discard for a chip, I'm pretty sure. Or can we? So what's the turn order here? Well, I mean, yeah, let's see the turn order. 9, 2. So we're first. So we're behind, so this guy must be nice. Gets a discard for a chip and win if we discard for a chip. So we can't. Oh, this guy 2 as well. So he can end it too. So if this guy ends it, we just lose. So it's like colludes with his buddy. So I don't imagine that it ever would. So we will assume it's not going to. Yeah. Let's just see if that's all correct. Red consumes 1 from hand. Yellow gambled and did not discard for a chip. Sensible. And now it ends, right? But we can X2. So I think we're in probably in a decent position here. Then we can play this, which is a 4-point dev. This guy has 2 cards in hand. So if we X2, we get 3 to 28, he gets 1 to 28. We have better tie breaks. So I think we just win here. In all likelihood. Unless he has some amazing windfall. 3-1 yellow's not in the deck. I think we just win if we X2 here. No builds. Yep. Toit. 28-28. So 4-player AI win. Recording ties are a bit annoying with my setup. So my tie breaks were 6+0. And his was 3+0. And then what did I want to redo here? The dev round, probably. Final round, no. Second last round, no. Third last round. Didn't work out as expected. Let's say I somehow know what they're gonna do here. What do I do differently? X2. Let's try that. And then trade. Doesn't really work. Massive overflow. I mean, this can't be good. This is the final round. This guy is cranking to 33. We're cranked at 25. This doesn't work at all. Actually makes me kind of wonder how I won in the other scenario, like the actual game. Turned out that calling dev was perfect somehow. Because now there's no way to win. 100% loss. I guess +5, find a 6 dev, so even that. Yeah. Interesting. So that doesn't work at all. So the dev here was key. And then before that, or that's this round, I guess. The previous round we dev'd. It's a 7 to produce. I doubt that there's anything better than what we actually did there. So strong. And then the previous round. Right, so this is where it was complicated. Not complicated, but just awkward against AI. So instead of producing on this round, we should be deving, I guess, in the hopes that one of them randomly produces, and barring that, we just produce the next round. So I think this is probably the best way to play this game, with the experience of playing it. Because this kind of situation comes up a lot, and I'm a bit unclear still on how to do it, but I think this might be the better way to make this, to play this round. Even though we know they're not producing, so this isn't even the best case scenario, not even close. Because we're getting a settle that we can't even reach, and there's no produce, but I still think this is probably the best way. And we keep 1, so we'll be drawing 2 unproduced, so I guess this is okay for later. Might even just lose it now. Might want to trade later. I'm not in a hurry to dump my hand, I don't think. Let's try it this way. Now we produce a bunch of settles. X2. So we could play this now, and then trade next round, which is pretty good, so yeah, I think that's going to be good. That's definitely worth more than 1 point, I think. Which is what we would have got if we discarded it earlier. There's a produce 2, which is nice, so we don't even lose a crank. Like, we're getting 6 cards out of the 1 card. Well, 6 out of 3. Discard 1. Now we X2. We can even afford this on the dev. This doesn't do anything, this doesn't do much. If we do this, we get on to 4. I think we want to just hold off for this, but they don't dev. Or mining league. Yeah, I don't think we want to settle that. Now the question, do we discard for a chip? I think no. But I mean, it's so unlikely they're going to dev, but if they do, we need to be able to play it. This 2 is decent if they don't dev. Produce. How are we even doing score-wise? Like, is the game over here? Okay, he doesn't have a green bid. But if this guy X2s and this guy X2s, the game ends. Actually, I take a chip too. So this is not looking great, actually. I didn't look at the full situation. Although we're not even far. So we just dev them. If he plus 1s, he can leech a 6F, and he's the only player that can win. I guess we dev. Huh. No produce and no double BPs. So like a spot like this is so hard to predict. Like it feels, well, I mean it felt pretty easy to predict actually. It felt like this guy was going to X2. Or sorry, that this guy was going to X2, and the game was going to end. He traded. I guess maybe it knows, so it figures out that if it X2s, it just loses. But I've been in this kind of situation before, and I don't know. I'm not convinced that they're that good at the end game like that. I could be wrong though. So, because this is the correct play, certainly, from its perspective. So, dev, settle, consume. What happens now? So we can't leech a settle unless we do this. This into this. Can we do this later? I guess. So what's going to happen with the VP pool here? So currently it looks like he takes 1 chip and he takes 1 chip, and I take 1 chip. So that's a 3. And then consume next round 2, 1. And this guy's probably going to discard for a chip, so I guess it ends next round on VPs. So if I do this, I go to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4. Can't play this no matter what happens. So that's kind of pointless. This is all very awkward. I need to beat this guy, and he Explore +1 so he can reach a 6 out here, which really sucks. I don't know. Neither 6 is that good anyway. Turns out we should have produced here, interestingly. Alright, just gonna do something. Pick something. 4, 6. Produce next round, let's say. So pay 1. Play that. Pay 1. Take a chip. So good for chip. And then not. Draw 2. Go to 6, 7 on an Explorer, so we'll do that like that. There's 1 chip in the pool. But this player just loses if it consumes though. This guy can force the end, yeah, so this guy's gonna consume. Most likely. Which means we're screwed. Wow, no consume. That's interesting. I've seen the AI consume in spots like this where it's guaranteed to win. I mean, isn't it guaranteed to win there? Even if I explore, I can't reach a 6 dev. Best I can play is like a 4-point world. 5, 6-ish, or 5. So the most points I can get, oh hold on, is 6 points out of the round. So I go to 35, I guess it only has... Yeah, so I guess it's risky, so I guess produce makes sense. Dev settle. I guess I have to hope there's an Explorer. Wait, does that even work? Yeah, I think so. It's not a lot of benefit though. Yeah. So produce on this one to start. Discard to produce. And hope there's an Explorer. Whoops. There is no Explorer, and there's a definite settle. Play this. It's a 6-point play. And play this, so 7 points. Whereas this is 7, but one better tie break, I think. No. Same tie breaks. So it's the same. So this was so convoluted. Like it became more complicated than I was expecting. So what did we do differently here? Called the dev, and then produce, and then the end game was a bit weird. It could have gone better, like if I had produced the previous round. So this way we did win. Very close, similarly to the other way. The other way was 28-28, 23-12. Just a more inflated version of the game. And let's say we produce here instead of deving. It's going to make a huge difference. So discard 1, settle, produce. I guess this makes sense. 3, 6. Yeah, for sure, we get a card back too. So it's like a 1 point for 1 card play. Okay, 2. Oh, what? I guess we don't have this out in this path. So it's a 1 point for 2 cards, but maybe worth more later. Pay 2. That, consume. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. So I guess we do discard for a chip. I don't imagine this is ever worth it. I guess it might be. More than this would be. Like, keeping this by itself is useless. And then X2, I guess? So this is the final round. I don't know about X2, actually. Let's see here. So this player has to build, I guess, to not lose, maybe? Or trade. No, this is guaranteed the final round. This guy gets 8, so he's at 39, we're down by 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. I guess we get X2, hoping there's a dev is probably the way to win this. So if we play this, it's probably our best play. Or maybe this. This is math. Turns out keeping the 1-1 would have been better by a lot, actually. So let's actually just fix that. So this is so instead of getting 1 point out of the last 2 goods, we get 3 with this one. So this is a 5-point play, and this is more. So we pay 5, play, oh what? We can't afford it, right? We don't have terraforming uplift, whatever, uplift terraforming. Okay. That's still the same, still best play though. Some 2 goods, or some good 2 rupees. So this way we get massacred. Right, because we called the dev rather than X2ing. If we X2, play this, pass on settle, take a chip. It's not going to be close enough, it's still not going to be enough, I don't think. Barely, but yeah, by 3. So many replays that I'm getting like lost, as in like, what were we testing this time? So many replays of the same game, so many paths, branches. I don't even know anymore. Where did I diverge on this experiment? Because we already tested that. Maybe you should cut down on the replays a little bit. I'm not learning anything from it. Like this. Right, this was the producing, somehow knowing that they're not going to end it. If I know that they're going to play properly, produce, but it's not good enough. Because this guy has an 8-point engine produce. Yeah, like there's no way produce will be correct here. Yeah, that makes sense. Because even if it doesn't end, it's just giving him more than me and he's ahead of me, so what's the point? So that is not correct. And the dev path didn't work out that well either, I don't think. I won by 1, so it's okay. But definitely better, yeah, it makes sense. And then at the beginning, this is where we call the dev. So it does work out in the end, barely. But so did not deving. And then early game, here we did explore +1 to reach the stuff. So what if we dev here? That was kind of the other way. Because they never dev as expected. Discard 1. And there's a dev and a settle, so we could go with the blue thing. There's no consume, so we could trade that into that. 3, 2, 4, 6. Trade for 4. And we can keep all these big cards. I mean, let's try this just to see. We have 6 cards? Yeah, that makes sense. And then trade. Let's just settle. Pay 2. This is probably not optimal keeping, but just for the sake of the experiment, we'll do it that way. And then we could trade our X2 here. Or again, the same idea, dev. Because they're not going to dev. AIs. Like now the priority is the blue devs. If there's a produce, which is possible. We want dev to happen. So no produce and there's a settle. Wow. Awkward. Could go this into gambling world. Or free trade association into gambling world. Doesn't seem great. Pass on dev, tourist world, no. Deficit spending, tourist world, no. I think this is probably the best play. Just chuck the blue path. I don't know if gambling world is correct there. I suspect it is not. Yeah, I don't think it is. Do we even have the best engine now? Answer no. So yeah, we have a 9.1 card engine. He has an 8.1 card engine. We're up, but he has more cards in hand. So we have an ever so slightly better engine, but he's up on cards, so I don't know. We'll try it. Take a VP, consume goods. Wait, what? Oh, right, I didn't play Gambling World. Yeah. So he definitely has a better engine than us. 6 point, 7 point. So dev actually happens. Guess we pay this. So we consume our good, take a chip, consume. Game ends. Game ends and we win by 3. This is our best win so far. Just playing the cheapo worlds into this later. Playing whatever random stuff. Rather than getting all fancy with this early game. And then the rest of the game was nothing to decide. The opening hand worked out much better than normal because of this draw on the Explorer. And we barely win. Alright, enough replays for that game. Jeez, taking it a little extreme with that. Alright. Next game. Pick up to the lurkers. It's probably just Twitch botting or whatever. So what do we have here? So we're 67% of the way to Rebel base, which is just whatever. Ooh, this is a good combo, especially with this. Well, actually this is irrelevant in this case. Most likely like this. It's a bit expensive, but we can trade round one. We're kind of relying on an explorer to be able to keep this because of the guaranteed settle from opponents. In any case, we're certainly going to keep like this. There's nothing to consider here. I mean, other than the fact that we kind of want this for Uplift Worlds, but there's probably more value in keeping. Well, I mean, we don't need this really. We already have an extra good. Might be more value to go like this. There's a lot of value in this, though. If we draw into consumer markets early, probably more value than this for uplifts. Like, it's not a good dev for uplifts. Just strictly worse than Space Marines and such. Uplift terraforming. So, what do we have going on here? So one of these is going to produce probably this guy. I mean, probably. There's a chance they'll produce. They might not because of this. Explore, not super likely. So we might have to explore ourselves. To not just lose this on the settle. Actually, we don't even get to play a good on this. I was thinking we could leech a settle, play this, get a good on it, and trade it. That's only true if there's an explorer, and then we lose this, so there's no way we can trade here. Basically, the only play is +1. Dev settle. Probably. Oh, we only discard 1. No way we ever play this. Dev, there's no way. Settle this, put a good on it, and trade, I guess, and go from there. The rest doesn't matter all that much. We want this stuff out. No trade from this player. Interesting that it's able to play this. Huh. Guess it went down to 0. 4, 5, 1, 0. Jeez. But yeah, I think we go like this. Discard that to produce. Trade. Settle, settle, X2. Play like this, I have difficulty understanding. I guess it wants to X2 twice, so basically, if it X2s twice, it gets 4 points and 2 cards out of 2 actions. And if it trades, it gets 4 points and a card. No, it gets 4 cards and a point, sorry. For 1 action. So what was it? 4 points, 2 cards. So 2 points, 1 card per action. Or 4 cards, 1 point. Like, there's no way that 2 points and a card per action is better than 4 cards and a point at this stage in the game. At least, that's what all my thousands of plays of this game tell me, but AIs play millions of games against each other. But I mean, humans are still better than them, so I have to assume they're just not figuring out that cards have maybe more value early game. Maybe that's what's going on with AIs. They value cards and points the same way, flatly across the entire game. As opposed to a human who realizes that cards have more value early game because you can set up an exponential growth. Whereas AIs treat it kind of linearly. I don't know. Maybe it's in the logic, the look-ahead logic that they have implemented, how far ahead they actually look. I don't remember how far ahead they look. I don't think it's that far. Like the next turn or something. So now we pass on settle, trade. And then, wow, interesting draws. Wow, this guy didn't actually trade last round? What the fuck? Settle, settle, X2 trade. This guy settled, lost is good. This guy settled, which is fine. This guy X2'd as we saw. And I guess so he's gonna trade now. He should trade. Might produce if he has some kind of weird dev in hand that lets him consume his good, I don't know. But most likely trade, X2. So I expect all consumes. Hand sizes are low, so we can settle, we can trade. Still need a way to consume this good. And if anybody produces, I need there to be a settle happening. And the trade isn't that high of a priority anyway, so I think I'm just going to settle on the off chance there's a produce here. From like this guy. So there's a dev, which we're passing on. Settle. So I need brown wolves. This guy has 2 windfalls. Is that going to be make this valuable enough to play? Super unlikely. But this is far down the line too. We already have an extra good. Maybe a bit more value with this, maybe. Thing is, they never call dev, or rarely call dev, so more likely to get some value back from this. And if we, you know, get double consume power or something, it becomes super strong. So I think this is the better play. So now we can trade or produce, but somebody else is going to produce anyways. Unless our board is too strong for them to produce into, which is possible at this point. It's a 12-point engine if they're producing every round. Trade allows us to leech this later, but we don't care that much about it. Trade also gets us potential to draw consume power for this thing. My instincts are telling me they're not going to produce here. But all we really have is a 6-point 0-card engine, so I think we're going to trade here. Well, my instincts were wrong. Discard 1. Pass on settle, trade, and now we X2. Well, there's a consume power, but it's the most expensive of the most expensive variety. Could theoretically trade here to be able to play it immediately, but there's an explore we can play it anyway, but that's not likely. Engine-wise, huge trade engine here. This guy's a 6-point -1 card engine. So we're slightly ahead, but we're down 6 points on him. But we're up on hand size. What is he likely to do here? And he also needs to draw to be able to even discard for chips anyway. So we're not in that bad of shape against this guy. And if somebody produces every round, like this guy is quite likely to produce here, decently likely. He produced last round. Red did. Or what did yellow do? Explore +1. It's just faster to undo than to look at the log. I think we just X2 here. It's possible he'll explore again anyways. He does not, and the dev happens, which is awkward. And now we trade and we still can't reach the dev. I hate spots like this. But I mean, dev is not that likely anyways. This guy. Actually, we could dev ourselves. If we dev, we leech, this guy's consume, and this guy's produce. I kind of like that idea. Nice. There's an export too. That was a very good result. Pay 4. What are we going to be drawing for the rest of the game here? 1 card every round or 2. So these are not likely to ever see play, and this is pretty expensive too. And we have no way to consume it. Just keep the possible point, I guess. Yeah, close enough. Now the X2. And there's a produce. Holy shit, cha-ching. Although, this guy has this out now. So, if we X2 every round and he produces every round, what happens? We get 8 points and a card every round. And he gets 2 points, 3, 4. I mean, it's insane. There's no way that he's getting more out of it than we are. He gets 4 points and 1, 2... 4 points, 2 cards. So he has an 8-point 4-card engine. And we have a 16-point 2-card engine. So that's good. It's funny how you can count engines against AIs, because there's so much producing happening from them that you can effectively have a double-sized engine if one of them's producing every round. That's why production worlds are so good against AIs and like produce on windfall powers. There's always one sucker producing. So yeah, so we can't settle. This game looks in the bag for the most part, but I mean, you can get surprised in spots like this. Because I am down in points, so, and the game's gonna end very quickly, like next round. There's always one of them that has some crazy combination. I guess that's why it's producing, so that it can X2 on the final round, partly as well. So yeah, you see it's tied with me right now. And cranking probably for the same number of points. 2, 4, 6, 7. It cranks for 7. So we're up by 1 on it. It only has 2 cards in hand, so I'm okay with this, maybe. If there's a settle and it has a settle, we're screwed. This guy is dangerous, very dangerous. So if it goes X2, 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 we win, so that's good, because that's decently likely to happen here. But he's probably going to build. If he devs, we're going to do the best we can. We go to 29, he goes to 21, 22, 23, 24, plus his dev, so we could easily lose against him, and this guy can't win. Well, there's the dev. G-Fed. Looks like we might win by 1 or something here. Oh, there's a settle too, but he has no cards, so that's good. Wow. 29, 28, 27, 20. Crazy. But that is yet another win. 4-player win. Fourth in a row. 6, 4, 9, 2. But I mean, multiple of them have been by the skin of my teeth. 29, 27, 28, 20. So that one, the previous one was as well. Well, 2 of them were by the skin of my teeth. That turn was clutch, where I dev and they consumed and produced. Without that sequence, there's no way that I would likely win, since I only won by 1 with that perfect alignment. How did this guy get so close? Right, we knew he was getting 27. He passed on both builds. So yeah, like if he plays, what can he play that he could win there? No dev could win. Uplift 2-2 we could play. Would be 4 points. So all he needed there was an uplift 2-2, looks like. Right? Yep. He gets plus 4 to 31, boom, game over. And that was with the produce X2. I don't think there was really much to replay here. Round 1 we +1'd because we had to. It was like a debatable trade at one point, whatever. And it actually worked out badly, so it would have been better if I didn't, like if I +1'd or something. Or produced. I don't know, I mean, I guess I'm in a kind of replay mood, so we'll replay to where? Here there's nothing to debate, here probably nothing, here was the perfect round, so no, and here nothing to debate. We could trade here, I guess. These kind of things come up a lot, and I'm kind of curious to see. So like you're in this spot, right? You can either x2 then trade, or you can trade immediately and lose 3 points but gain 2 cards a round earlier. It's probably better to trade later, but we'll try it here to see how it goes. So there's a dev, which is awkward. I could also trade like a green grid here and then trade again, which is a bizarre way to play this. There's no produce. It's like trading this isn't good. Well, since we're playing this bizarro path, let's play it completely. Trade again, or dev. So dev, trade, produce. We need something that consumes a brown and a blue, which is not possible. Certainly we need one of these two. Either way, we get a card back, card and chip back. I mean, this is just better at the moment. Pay 4.
I've been lost in the valley of nightmares. I've been found in the garden of dreams. Speak thy charm, I know you are out there. Cast thy spell and silence the screams.
I guess if we know there's going to be a produce, we could do dev, but anyways. I'm not sure what the best sequence here is. Pay 1. So let's settle. Yeah, close enough. And then final round. Settle x2.
I've seen fear, valiant faces. I've seen hope, desperate eyes. Lead me home to familiar
Lose by quite a lot here.
places. Lead me back to crystalline skies. As I poison
With the trading shenanigans. What if we trade here? No builds, so it doesn't do anything. Back up, back up. Oh, did I forget to turn on? Damn it. The replay thing. You get used to that. Probably make a better, slightly better setup for the future. Different scene. Right, so let's do what I initially planned, which was to just trade. Really good. Once again, if we can mind read these guys, which we probably would have been able to, that somebody's going to produce, we would dev here instead. Discard 1. Pay 4, take 3. Something like that. we lose this way, yeah, by a little bit. By trading rather than next doing initially. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot more to learn out of this game. So we'll go again. So, what do we have here? Usual garbage military. So, Combat Zone Surveyors is amazing. It's about all you need to win a game. And this is the brown-green expansion after all, so I will keep Avian Uplift Race and dump one of these. Is there any possible way we play Replicant Robots? There'd have to be no settle around 1. I guess it's possible. Like if I explore +1, and there's a dev, we go to 6 down to 1. Then we'd have to explore again, go to 3. Probably just this. This is pretty good with this homeworld. I think it's probably better to just go like this. Because then we explore, go to 6 down to 2, and this might be one of the 2 cards we keep. We also might just want to produce on round 1. It's probably the best play. Produce trade. I mean, +2 look is nice and all, but produce trade for 6 cards and 2 actions early game is pretty amazing. And there still might be the remote chance of an explore happening anyway, if an AI really needs to. So, definitely discarding this, and then it's kind of consumer markets or replicant robots. I think this is probably the best. And I think we'd probably produce here. So dev settle. Dev from this guy. Settle from these. Yikes. Interesting that I don't see a lot of AIs naked trading round 1. I don't know why that is. Like in other expansions, or at least back in the day, they would naked trade so much. I don't know about round 1, but it's surprising that given how much they settle, that this AI here is not naked trading. Doesn't really compute. Does not compute. Because I mean, naked trades are just so easy, especially like in 4 or 5 player. So yeah, in any case, we do that. We trade. No builds. X2 here, which is bizarre. Like everybody had a good there. Like, how does this AI not figure out that? Or how does this AI figure that X2 is the best play there? It just doesn't make sense. Again, though, I'm sure there's a reason that it was its best play. It'd be interesting if I could figure out what that reason is. Like, what card could it have in hand where that would make sense? That's 2 cards. This guy's 1, 4. So it's hoping this player builds, which is possible. So it's hoping this player settles. I think after the game I'm going to debug its cards to see what it has here, if I think of it. So, we'll go back. Huh. Bunch of useful cards. If we produce, what happens? So we get 3 cards per action. This guy gets 4 for 1. This guy gets nothing, and this guy gets nothing. So it looks like produce is pretty good here. As is often the case, we hope there's a dev, but that's not likely to happen. Possible though. I mean, we have to produce here pretty much, and hope there's like an explorer and whatever. We'll just deal with whatever happens. Well, no, it's not that good actually because of this thing. This guy produced, so we didn't even need to produce. We might have to play it anyway, though. I don't know about that. Because if we don't build and there's no builds next round, it really sucks. Like next round, this player's probably going to be consuming or producing. This guy might be building. This guy might be building. So build next round is relatively likely, and this is not doing anything for us yet, so... If I do play it, I go down to 3, and could theoretically reach this, which is not bad. But not ideal. 3, 6, if we don't reach here, we go to 7. Trade to 12, which isn't that big of an overflow, and then we could reach something big if there's a build. I don't know, I think we don't build here. Really, dead for that. So I guess this AI is almost guaranteed to build, it has to be. Just gonna like dead for trade league, hoping there's a settle or something. In any case, oh, we drew this too, nice. We have to trade. Wow, no builds. So weird. I can't always be right. So, I have no green stuff going on at all. This is 2 per rebel. So I'm never playing any of this stuff, pretty much. One more. Basically just want to play a whole bunch of production worlds. I don't want to chuck the uplift away, because uplift terraforming is pretty amazing. So I think we go like that. Trade, let's see what we get here. A lot of good cards. Not really about it too much. So here we are again. So like what? This guy's gonna trade now and leech our dev. But if we trade and he doesn't trade, or sorry, if he doesn't dev, we just both massively overflow. Like I don't know. I don't feel like AI's trade in this spot really. So we can probably safely trade, I think. I mean, look at these hand sizes. Trade has to be good here. Alright. Pure munitions or New Earth. What are we going to be going through here? 3, so we're at 10, 4, 8, 4, 9. Play the biggest card. It's a bit scary. Trades for 7. This guy trades for 4. Well, pay 5. So 1. So brown could happen here. I'm gonna have a ton of cards. I don't expect Public Works to ever be worthwhile. One of these cheap production worlds can probably go. I actually didn't notice that I had this to combo with the 1-0 uplift. Five cards. I mean, 1, 2. Keeping 4 of these cards. So 1, 2, 3, and that's 3 production, 3 consumption, 4. Seems good. Or deficit spending. It's pretty amazing. We have a lot of devs though. I think that's close enough.
Has now been placed in your hands.
Drew the other deficit spending. So, scores are all pretty even. This guy's going to trade probably. One of these guys is going to produce. This guy probably. Oh, he has 8 cards, so maybe not. But this guy will produce. So produce is happening. So I guess we're settling. What if there's a dev? So maybe we have to dev and leech the settle. So if we dev this, we can leech this, go down to 0, and then produce 3 brown goods, draw 4 cards, and have a 6-point 5-card engine. Seems pretty good to me. Especially given they're more likely to settle than dev. No produce though. Interesting. Make a trade. Huh. Nice. Although Merchant Guild, can't forget about that. What about this since there's no produce? And then just settle again. Just play production worlds in this. Let's see here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6. Settle next round. 3, 4, or 3. One more time. So dev this down to 7, 6, 5. Next round, settle. Theoretically 5. So 4, 3, 2, 3. Produce 4, 5, 6. Also, we could do this. If we do this, we go down to 7, 6, 5. If we dev, we go down to 2. Can't reach that. If we dev this, go down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 5 on a dev. 4, 3, 2 still doesn't work. So bank is not happening. Feels like this might be the best play here. I'm surprised this guy didn't produce. Surprised and a bit scared. I need this out so bad though. And this later. Maybe we just play this and explore. I think that's probably fine. Is it? It's costing us 2 now and we'll save like 2 or 3 later. It's almost like we have to pass on our own dev here. So it looks like we should have produced as if somehow we knew this is how things would play out. I guess? I don't even know. Once again, it's because they don't dev is the problem. Why this is a problem. Because in all situations here, we need the dev to happen, so we have to call it because they don't dev, and then we also need the produce to happen. And when we dev, they always settle, so we're like always short on cards to play the dev and the settle. It's like it's always so awkward. If we do conglomerate into mining worlds. It's not even that great. Keep 2, but we're so far from playing this. It's not that far off. A couple rounds. Well, 1 round to be exact. With that 1 round, they're likely to settle is the problem. If we do play this into this, we go down to 9, 7, 6, 5, explore to 7, leech a settle down to 4, produce, leech, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, so let's refigure that. Explore next round. So 7, 6, 5, 6, 7 on explore. If there's a dev, we go down to 3, which is just enough for this. But we go down to 0, we lose New Earth and Merchant Guild, so it's not even useful. Not that useful anyway. So maybe we just do this into this and just go with that. I have to pick one of these things. What this is spending too. I don't know, because there's no produce, I don't think this is going to be correct. I'm just going to go instinctually here, play this. Pass, pass, pass. Pay 1. Settle. Pay 1. So, maybe with a smaller hand it'll be clearer instead of figuring out all these different branching possibilities. So 10 cards, 8 cards, 7 cards, they all have huge hands. If there is Settle No Dev, we'd play this, discarding what? So many good cards. Deficit spending and this. Problem is we need to be drawing cards. So it kind of tells me that last round I should have just produced. So round 6 produce. Will be a replay. This is such an awkward spot because like Dev and Settle's probably gonna happen here. Go to 7, down to 3, 2, 1, 0. Maybe is anybody even gonna produce? Call it Settle for this instead of produce. Definitely not producing. Maybe producing. Yo, what's up, man? Missed you by 5 minutes. Sorry. How's it going, man? I'm alright. I'm alright. So if he didn't produce last round, he shouldn't be producing now, right? Logically, but that doesn't necessarily follow. So this guy's the main guy that could theoretically produce. There's a pretty decent chance he's not going to. I've been here before. Most of the time, when I do something like this, one of them produces. It's just like, ugh. Well, hold on. So what do we have going on now? We need just mining conglomerate out. I mean, we have to produce, I think. Of course. Call Settle for this instead of producing, now produces. Like, what? And the dev and the Settle happens. So Explore plus 1 would have been perfect. But alas, that is not the universe we're in. So, and like this guy can actually leech a brown world and completely wreck us here, which is brutal. At least we've seen like all the good ones pretty much. What's left? There's the 3-2 or 3x uplift 1. Snifflem doesn't seem to notice voice chat very much. Let's put a text response in there. Oh, He might already be gone, actually. Let's take a peek. I see him there. So, we could leech this or this. I mean, we have to probably have to risk it. Oh, great. That's not a good sign. Keep one. So, if he doesn't play a brown world, which is still possible, then we would draw 2, 4. Go to 5. Making that the best keep, I guess. Thank the gods. Okay, well, now I guess we X2, right? Pray one of them is dumb enough to produce. Settle happens, so this doesn't really do anything for us. This is playable, but doesn't really do anything. It's a 0 point, 1 card play. 1 card for 0 points. This gets us a card back immediately. I'm pretty happy with that. So now we have pretty massive engine. 8 point, 5 card engine. Pool's healthy. Score is healthy as well. Hand size is fine. I guess theoretically we don't need to produce here, but we certainly are going to, I think. Because if there's no producer, it's a disaster. We're relying on this guy to produce. Well, he does, but... Wow, I can actually play this. I guess it gets me a point for a card or something. Or, actually, a point for 0 cards. Break, cost me no cards. And now it actually could turn into an extra 2 points if there's a dev. Not sure if this is going to be the final round or not, but it might be. There's a whole lot of... well, maybe not. We're the only one taking points here. Pay 3. We're going to draw a lot. We're nowhere near playing either of these. So, rare good for a card and a chip. Any color for a card and a chip. Rare chips and other color. Boom. 1 chip in the pool, yikes. I wonder if green actually took a chip there. Discarded, yeah, discarded a bunch for chips. So it did the max it could, and then yellow did not. It did. So everybody consumed the max they could. And it did not end. So now, wow, look at this draw. 6 points. I'll take it. I mean, we're just X2ing here, the game ends, and I don't imagine we're likely to lose. So dev happens, we draw steady, which is even better. It ends here, right? Guaranteed. Well, that game turned out better than I was expecting. Like, that one round that went really awkward didn't end up mattering. Partly because I guess we got a bit lucky with some of our draws, but yeah, not close. Up by 14. Some of our draws were a bit lucky, and the sequence of phases too didn't punish us too hard, only that one round. Nice, nice. Doing good tonight. So, 4-player win. versus AIs. Actually, I forgot to be checking the server, but there's nobody there at the moment. So 49, 26, 45, 29. I think there was that one thing I wanted to replay, round 6 produce. And there's the Explorer 2 on round 5 or something. So round 7, what happened? Round 7 was the awkward round. So this is the first thing I want to try. So if we explore +1 instead. But I mean, that's mind reading this, but with the experience of this game, I maybe could figure it out in the future that it would somehow, after settling, still produce. Discard, what's happening here? Export F settle. I don't know if it's even that strong, but so we're losing everything else. So ironically, maybe being hamstrung there is what made us do so well, because we had to play this and keep just one card. Whereas here, we're playing this into this, and this doesn't really do anything. It just gets us one card back. Weird. So maybe the best play here is still to just play this. We can keep this and this. Well, certainly we play this, and then we think. Go down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if they don't play a brown world. I mean, because of the fact they played it, we kind of have to, though. Like, let's be realistic. I know what happens here, but I shouldn't. So I would certainly play this. And then we go from there. Next. Wow, look at this. This might actually mean that we trade here. Wow, this is crazy. Almost certainly have to trade. We have an extra good laying around too. We could X2 then trade. Oh, I forgot to set the replay thing. I mean, it's possible somebody's going to produce, so I guess we might as well X2. Oh, it didn't work. Which is going to be awkward if there's a dev here. There isn't. What does this get us? 2 points for 2 cards, so maybe not worth it. Point for a card, also not really worth. Let's just try it this way. No settle. We want to get both our 6s out. Oh, what? How am I getting so many cards? Right, Terraforming Surveyors, of course. So we probably play this. Pay 1. We'll trade for 6. No difference. And then, or are we relying on them to produce once again? Or sorry, to dev. So I guess we dev then. Reach to produce. Of course they dev now and not produce. What the fuck? So hard to figure out what they're gonna do sometimes. It's so random. So I guess we play this one then? This is really awkward, actually. We have to start with this one. Now we have to produce. Oh, trade, produce. Now we're relying on them to dev again, and they don't. Like, it's always the same thing with AIs. Like, everything's so mistimed all the time. Because they play so semi-randomly. Whereas with humans, you could rely so much better on getting this stuff out in the right sequence, and it's be so much better. So here, what's going on? Explore. There's a produce, we discard 6, like what the fuck? Jeez, 2 insane 6 devs. Game ends and we lose. But yeah, if we can mind read them, we just win, of course. So like the previous round, not the previous, the one before, they dev, so reproduce instead of deving. Play this, get infinite. And then we x2, I guess. Dev might be better though. Really, trades and produces. So what happens if we x2 first of all? I guess it doesn't even end, maybe? Okay, well that's useless, kind of. Unless there's a dev here, which there is. No settle though. So this way we crush them. But that's mind reading them. Like reading when they're gonna dev. Which is just pretty much impossible. Because if you play this way all the time, then you would most of the time whiff entirely. Unless you can somehow figure out when they are likely to dev, which I don't know is even possible. It seems pretty random. And so enough of that, and then there's round 6 I wanted to see if I produce what happens. I don't remember what happens here, why I want to see the produce. I think it was because I figured out that produce, yeah, there was the awkwardness of calling dev, getting a settle, and then having to lose our whole hand and stuff. So if we produce, we presumably leech this. Maybe. We're at 9, 8, 7, 6, 7, 8. Maybe this is the best. Let's try this. Pay 2. And then what? Trade. Hand sizes are large, but nobody builds. So I don't care about trying this out, so we'll dev, I guess. Dev or settle. If we dev and there's a settle, it's not the end of the world. Dev. 2, settle, keep this or this, so that's fine. So we'll dev. There's a produce and a consume. So we're at 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess we play that. Pay 2. Some consume. Now what? Scores are pretty close. Lots of chips in the pool. We have mining league. We have crazy stuff. Once again, you can't really rely on the AIs. So we probably just dev here. And just settle. Yikes. Play mining league. We go down to 3. Could do this down to 1, which doesn't seem great. So maybe we start with that. Pay 1 or settle, ideally this. What happens if we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems a bit sketchy. Yeah, this is just all over the place. The produce happened, so we could have explored. To dev because they never dev, but look at that, 2 of them dev. I'm not going to replay this part though, like most of the time they wouldn't dev, so I would have to dev here if I really want to get mining league out. If we lose this way I'll replay it, but too rare. $36.30. I was playing the small world, producing that round. Worked out pretty good. And then the last thing I wanted to see was what did the AI have in his hand when it make traded or something? With like 2 cards in hand. I think it's back here. So it has 2 cards in hand. No, this is probably not the round. Because it has a good, so it's earlier. Oh, that's what it was, this round. So round 2, it's X2 in here. So what does it have in hand? It has 2 cards. So let's see what green has here. You can check in the debug window. So owner, green, you can't see this, I realize. So green in hand has Trade League and Merchant World. A 6 dev and a 4 world. And it's X2ing. Absolute nonsense. But I mean, the reason why it's doing that is because it assigns a win percentage to all its different action choices and probabilities of people choosing other actions and stuff. And doing it millions of times figures out what its best play is here, and somehow X2 is better than Explore +1/+1. Like, it's probably by point, you know, decimals of a percentage. But still somehow X2 is better than trading, which seems absurd. Better than Explore +1ing, which is also absurd. So maybe it's because with the playstyles that they have, Explore +1ing or trading just never wins, but that doesn't make sense. It's not like opponents. It's not like it's in an unwinnable position. All it has to do here is trade, and it's in the game. I don't understand this. There's some flaw somewhere. I don't know. All right. Next. So, what do we have here? A lot of expensive stuff. Missing pieces, so I need brown for this. Like more brown, and I need a green world. I mean, this is great. This is basically my hand to start, I guess, but they're expensive and missing a piece. 2 pieces. I need 2 green producing worlds, which is difficult to find. Brown walls are easy to find. This is just so expensive. Doesn't really fit with this because it's so expensive. Versailles Colony is a mini engine. This is kind of... I mean, there's one green world that it lets us play on its own. Although if we're trying to go for like the uplift stuff, we probably should play it. And if we do that, we can keep this just theoretically. That might be better. I don't know if it is. Because having a part of an engine already is so strong. We're so reliant on Explore here. And if Settle's going to happen, we're going to have to play this. So we're going to 6. We're going to have 2 cards in hand at the end of the first round. If we Explore. Produce might be better. Go down to 0 and just go from there. Probably the best way to play that. And just cry that we're chucking these. You can keep this if there's an Explorer, but that's not likely to happen. Very hard. I don't expect to win this one unless we get lucky on the first Explorer, if there is one, if we do it. Which means why are we producing? Because at least gives us a chance. It's a tough one. I mean, opening hand 6 days are just whatever. So if we ignore that, what do we have left? Like, this is a killer card. All we need is a green world, so we should build around that, or bank on that. I mean, this is nice, but I don't want to handicap my hand size by 1 for like the first 4 or 5 rounds of the game, just to hold on to it. So what goes best with this, basically? Produce trading gets us 4 cards for 2 actions, so I mean that's pretty decent. And this doesn't help us get the engine, but is part of an engine on its own. Against AIs, I'm probably undervaluing this card. Drawing Produce is really strong. So I think we're going to go like this, and I guess we keep this for potential and that for potential. We need to kind of keep this for potential too, though. And like Settle's always happening round 1, so whenever playing this card is just not good. This card loses a lot of value in this expansion, or maybe against AIs anyways. We'll Settle all the damn time on round 1. Weird that I'd be keeping this over, or running League over this, but I think that's correct. Oh, shitty. Keeping 3 unplayable cards, basically. But I think it's correct. So, Alpha Centauri, Old Earth, so all civilians. If we produce, this guy potentially could trade and get us good back, but they don't usually trade this. Spore powers, nobody has any. There's actually a chance there's no Settle here, which kind of sucks, but it's still pretty likely. So does that mean we +1 maybe here? I think we still produce. Chance of no Settle. All 3 opponents settle. Wow. That's pretty horrible. Also not great. So I mean, this is a decent opening. Could have been worse. I mean, that's a really good draw. What are the odds somebody produces here? Pretty low. Pretty much impossible. Dev, so we miss a dev phase. Which is fine. Well, look at that. There's our green world and the means to play it. So, what happens if we plus 1? We play this and we have no hand, which is okay. Assuming there's even a dev though. So this guy's gonna trade. Produce. Maybe. 5 cards though, he might build. And then trade. So there's not gonna be a dev in a settle. Is this player gonna dev though? Doesn't seem that likely, especially with credits out there. Basically, I don't expect dev to happen. Settle could easily happen, so if we plus 1, we go to 6 and play this, go down to 2. We could dev ourselves, Leech and Explorer doesn't really work very well. If we produce, we just get screwed completely. So we can't really do that. There's a chance this player produces anyways. And produce gives this guy a lot. I guess explore and hope there's no settle. Or even if there is one, just pass on it. We go to 6. If we dev next round, we go down to 2, 1. Leech or produce. Go from there. Go to 2. I mean, I didn't even really think of this. This is decent too with this. And actually we lose it if there's a dev. I mean, dev is not that likely, but if it does happen, we'll deal with it. I mean, either way we have to plus 1, I think, most likely. Unless you just want to produce, pass on the settle, and pass on settle again next round. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Produce happens. This is a good result. No dev, no settle, no produce. I mean, this is perfect. Was not expecting this kind of sequence, so don't care about a lot of this. Actually, that's maybe not the one to discard though. I have extra brown production ones here. Don't think we'll ever play this. So we're trading now? Maybe. If there's a dev, well, the problem here is if there's a settle. Well, maybe not. So let's see. If there's a settle, we play. If there's a settle, no dev. Play this, discarding 1. Oh, what the? You drew this too? Well, now I think we might just have to dev. Because we can play dropships paying 1, 2, 3, leeching a settle, which is very likely to happen. And we can keep these 2. Dev this, leech this at some point. Like, that's pretty sick. And have a 6-point engine. 6.1 card engine. There's no other way to play this. So, yep. Now we X2. Problem here is when are they going to dev? I guess we just want to get this out by the end of the game, so just wait patiently. 12-point engine. Well, let's just make sure we're not giving anybody else the game here. Wow. So this guy, if he produces every round, and we X2 every round, so we get a 12-point 2-card engine. And he gets 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, 8 points, 1 card, effectively. So I guess we're happy to X2 all day. Wow, and dev happened before settle? That's sick. Seems good. Although pretty crazy, we're only up by 2, like what did he do last round? Yeah, he produced. Continue to X2, he continues to produce. Like, how is he benefiting here? Progressing the end of the game, I guess, but... and drawing cards. I mean, with the draw, maybe I counted that wrong. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per round. So he has a 10-point engine to our 12 points. So he's actually not that far behind. He gets 5 points and nets up 5 points in a card per round. So he has a 10-point 2-card engine, and we have a 12-point 2-card engine. So actually, we're barely ahead. Interesting. But yeah, I learned that lesson. The discard powers are so good against AIs. Double producing, triple producing, so strong. I've won a bunch of games against humans because of that. Learning that strategy. Thanks to AIs. Won a bunch of like what looked like unwinnable games by just producing every round. So choose goods to consume. Nothing we can do here. So now, can the game end here? So this guy can get a chip. This is just going to go produce X2 again. He gets 5, I get 6 is 11. 12-ish. I mean, surely I just X2 anyways. Hope it doesn't go dev no settle, which is possible, and that would really suck. But yeah, in a vacuum, what's the best play first of all? So I go to 31, he goes to 26. But this is 6 dev. He goes to 24 plus the 6 dev. So he needs a 7.6 dev. FTA is only 6, so maybe he's not in that great a position. Even with the best possible 6 dev here, he loses. What about Galactic Renaissance? He gets 7-ish. So that's how he ties me or something. But I would have better tie breaks. So yeah, this looks like a pretty good spot. Dev no settle. Awkward. Up by 7 now, so we're going to be up by 8. And we're still in the same kind of situation, except now we can discard 2 for chips. So we can play 19, 24, so Renaissance is 8. So 29, 37, and we go to 37. So we beat him on tie breaks, if there's dev no settle. I guess we're okay then. Looks like we still win. So X2, X2, settle, explore. So now we can't lose. GG. So thanks for all the fish, I guess. Point every round. Extra. So we like basically implicitly colluded to completely annihilate these 2 players by producing every round and consuming producing every round and consuming every round. There are lessons to be learned here for the observant. Basically to emulate what the AI did there in certain situations where it's slightly more beneficial than it was for him in there. So 5-player AI win, or sorry, 4-player AI win once again. Holy crap, we're on fire. Six and 0. 42, 12, 1833, 9206. Well, I'm not sure there was anything I needed to replay there. It's pretty straightforward, right? Stars align for this too. We got pretty lucky, let's be real here. Early game. To get the green world so easily. I guess the opening hand could be played a bit differently. So instead of producing, it's not going to be that great. I mean, I'm not trying to compare it to what actually happened, just in general though. Don't really like the Explorer here, but we'll try it. Well, that's insane. Jeez. Okay then. Way too strong. So, and we drew, I mean we have brown or green. So we're never playing this. Right? I mean, we're not playing both 6-devs either. So... Not entirely sure, so we'll just go this way for fun, since it's a replay. Normally I would keep credits there for sure. Pick one of them. So, what now? Another green world, so that can't be bad. So we want to get these 3 cards out, effectively, for a 10-point 2-card engine. Best way to do that is probably just to naked trade here. Get this one out, go to 9, dev this to 3, can't afford this, so that doesn't really work. And this is a produce here. We dev, we can't dev. Get settle, doesn't really work that well, but well, I guess we just trade. And go from there, hoping there's a producer and explorer, but there wasn't. Now we're again deving, hoping there's an explorer. It's not really the kind of position I want to be in against AIs, but I mean we have to dev to reach the produce. This is just awkward. Should probably just settle. Yeah, or explore. Wow, so actually explore plus 1 would have been amazing here. But of course, how could we know? I mean, we could have covered our bases by exploring. Explore plus 1, we'd go to 11, down to 4, down to 0. Boom. Crazy. Is this a replay or a real game? Holy crap. It was in my mind. Replay. So... I guess we'll play it out, but... no real alternative. So pay this, pay 6. Produce, I guess. Hopefully somebody settles at some point. Trade? I don't know how to play this situation. What the fuck? Devs and no settles? Research tabs is so bad against AIs, it's insane. I mean, it's already not very good, but it's AIs, it's ridiculously bad. I mean, this is not working out at all. Relying on settle to happen when it doesn't happen, just like, what? This game is probably a shambles. Yeah, this guy's at 18 with a ridiculous blue engine. So I guess we're supposed to settle. That's already... It's that one round where we call dev, there's a settle, no explorers. We have to like mind read them again and explore. Which is usually never going to happen in a real situation. I'm not going to be able to figure out that I should explore here. I mean, yeah. But we'll play it that way and see how it goes. Because I don't want to see this. I don't want to test this board out in its worst case scenario or whatever, in a bad scenario. So dev this, big 5, 6, settle that, presumably. Kind of have to produce actually. So, do we want a card and 2 chips or 3 chips? 3 chips, I guess. One chip in the pool. Does it end here? No. Oof. There's a dev. So we won by 1 tiebreaker. With that perfect alignment on that one round. And this kind of crazy board. Against, yeah, I mean this guy's board is insane. Pretty insane. Like the opening is crazy. Was there anything else before that? Right, this was the replay of exploring on round 1 instead of producing. Guess we'll play one last game here. So, 2 military worlds that I can't play. Research labs. This is great, but we need a green world, so we'd probably play Sparta. And then, because of that, keep the military worlds, potentially. Both amazing. Among the most efficient, cheap military worlds out there, aside from like Rebel Warrior Race. So we keep these 3 for sure. And then either Black Market Trading World or Defenders. I guess Defenders can't be bad. Not likely to see play, but I mean, way more likely than Black Market Trading World. This seems good to me. And so what do we do with this now, phase-wise? Just want to explore power. Produce power, produce power. Probably just +1ing here. We could settle. It might be better facing the explore power to just settle. We don't need to settle though, because somebody else will. We could produce, but that's terrible. I guess explore is fine. We need, I mean, we can draw into some good stuff. If ever there's a dev phase and we somehow draw Space Marines or something, or Expedition Force, we're laughing. Even though it's giving this guy 1 look. I think it's worth it. So, not a whole lot. I mean, consumer markets can't be bad. This is trash. So is this. I mean, we might be going green, so I might as well keep it. This one's super bad. Settle that. No produce. Jeez, so brutal. Wow. We've got an uphill battle on our hands. This guy gets to trade twice for 4. This guy trades for 5. It's insane. Paying 1. So only keeping these 2, keeping this. It's one of these 2 devs. Guess might as well keep the engine one. Whatever, production world. Yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about this one. This might be our first loss. Maybe I was supposed to +5 on round 1? No, maybe I +5 now. Because we had one, right, that was ready. We're playing this no matter what. Now, though, we have nothing. Now we're desperate for that one uplift. And if a settle does happen, we want to give ourselves the best possible chance to actually hit it. But I just hate Explore +5, it's so bad. Sacrificing a card for the chance at a win. So gambly. Does someone go to 6 if there's a dev? Play that. Yeah. Might have to take risks though to beat these 2. So there's 120 cards or whatever, 140 cards in the deck. And there's like 4 uplifts. Every time to pull out the hypergeometric probability distribution calculator. I don't know if I still have it in my shortcuts and whatnot. Pull out the advanced tools for this one. Let's see if my setup is good to go. Oh baby. Alright, so size of the space. I don't actually remember the deck size. I have to check that. Advanced strats here for sure. So I have a spreadsheet that just tells me quickly the number of cards in each format of the game. If I can find it, I haven't used it in a while. There we go. Color-coded card reference. So how many cards have we seen? I might not go to the absolute limit here. We haven't seen that many, so it's pretty easy actually. Opening hand. Discarded 2, 3 cards that are relevant. They each discarded a homeworld, so 4, 5, 6. Explore 7. That's it. So there's 7 unknowns, or so, sorry, 7 cards. Okay, first of all, the deck size is 165. Well, that's not going to be what's going to be here, but that's the base deck size. And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 cards gone. So there's 150 cards left in the deck. There are, let's have a look at how many desirable cards there are. So base plus Xeno. I believe there's 4 or 5, I'm not sure. The 2/2 uplifts. I guess there's a couple others maybe. So we're looking for green worlds with 2 military. This would work because we have enough cards for it. So 1, 2, let's just count them all. 3, 4, 5. Nobody has that. 5. Can't play that. Somebody play that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Wow, there's more than I thought. So there's 10 hits in the deck. And also, the size of the space is not actually exactly correct. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's minus 4 more. So 146. And sample size, I look at 7 cards. Boom. So let's see what our chances are of hitting 1 or more. So it's 1 in 3 basically. 1 in 3 chance if we explore +5. What if we +1? Looks like, oh, it disappeared. That sucks. 146. Sample size 7. Desirables 10, I think. 146, 10, 7. Yeah. So 146. 10, and let's say we explore +1. Still 18%. Actually, there's more hits. 1 more hit. Lost Species Arc World. So it's like 20% if we +1. It's actually higher than I expected. Interesting stuff. So, a 32% chance. I mean, it's not guaranteed that they settle, first of all. But it's pretty high likelihood. Well, it's not that high likelihood. So we could actually get 2 shots at this. So I guess +5 is probably worth it. Because +1 we're going to whiff most of the time, and when there is a settle we just lose the end. It's still not that good though, 32% when there is a settle. There's a 68% chance that we are settling for something not great. Some of that time there'll be a dev and we'll have like a useful military dev. I guess we're +5ing. No builds. That's a good start. As is getting Empath World. Well, this is interesting now. Close all this crap. So now we're 1 off of this. We have the military we need for these, so we might have to deviate a little bit. Discard 6. It's gonna get complicated in a hurry. Or it did. City. Trade League too. I mean, what it looks like to me is next round I'm going to want to dev, bleach, settle. And then later maybe play this, or play this. So maybe we just hope to draw more military later, as opposed to gimp our military. That's the thing too, is it's a production world, which is so much better than a windfall against AIs. So I feel like maybe this is the better way to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then discard one of these 6 devs. If we dev, reach that trade league. It's not great. It's not bad though. Only one guy is going to be producing. Oh, that's not true. This guy's going to want to produce at some point. Said he's better than normal because of Expedition Force and lots of cheap worlds. I feel like this might be the way to go. It's really hard to say though. This game is hard. We can kind of swing for the fences with SETI. Hope we draw military. Or kind of play it safer, play Trade League. Assume we won't get the military for this. feel like to win here, we probably need to go for a bit stronger than Trade League. Trade League for 3, like, whatever. I don't like how the tableau in my mind looks when I see Sparta, this, and Trade League, along with the going military stuff. It seemed that good. Now we dev certainly. No settle. Trade produce. Now we trade. If there's a settle, we are laughing. Oh baby. So we trade for 2, so we get either 3 or we get 5, so we can do that. Alright, well. Now I imagine we have a game on our hands, so dev leech a settle. 6-point engine in a military board. Seems pretty good. With the backup settle and a good 6 dev. And a produce happens. So pay 2. Maybe. This is a nice cheap dev to go with this. This kind of goes with this, but it's expensive. So settle produce. So are we X2ing or trading is the question here though. I guess we're X2ing. We can play these for free, draw cards. Well, draw cards off this slowly. Maybe get this out later. Well, let's see what our opponents are doing here first of all. So this guy is running away with it with basically every round. Who's been producing anyways? It's just easier to undo. So last round it was him, the round before it was green, round before it was him and yellow, but it's interesting that they both produce here. He'll produce on a windfall. Not surprised I guess to see AIs do that. But when he traded, this guy produced, which is strange. And then this guy produced when he had a blue good, which I guess makes sense. And then I guess that means we expect him to trade here. This guy might just produce every round, but this guy's probably going to produce. Okay, so if this guy produces every round and this guy trades or X2s, he's getting 2, 5 this round, then he gets 2. So he's going to be doing producing and stuff, so he's not going to get infinite points. 32 points in the pool. I don't know, the end's going to come quick, I feel like. But if we're X-wing every round, we're getting 6 a round, if there's somebody producing every round. And we're 8 behind. If there's a producer every round, this guy X2s every round, he gets 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. So like 4, 6, 8, 10. And we get 6, 6, 6, 6. Let's say 6, 6, 6. 6s. And so we'd get 18 and he would get 4, 2, 2. 4, 6, 8, so he's at 24. We're at 26. With good settles and stuff. I think we're okay here. Need somebody to settle at some point though. Wow, he doesn't consume here. That's interesting. And somebody's producing, like, now we're just laughing. 2, 3, 4, 5 base military, so this actually would allow us to play this, which I really didn't think about. Discard 2. Consume that, and then X2 again for the final round. Although, I mean, this is scary. He can play a 6 dev, we can't. But we have the X2. Doesn't look good. Yep. A game like this leaves me confused. Because I basically had a 12-point engine because I'm getting a produce every round, and yet I still lose to a guy who didn't really do much. I'm like misunderstanding. So they produce every round, I X2 every round. So I get 6 points every single round. How is this guy keeping up to that by not doing anything? Well, he was up by 8 to start is the problem. So I closed the gap by only 4, and I lost some ground at the end there. Because he gained 5 out of this play, and I gained 1. So that's 4 more points. So if not for that, we would be tied right now. So I would have caught up to him, basically, over those 3 turns. And I mean, if anybody settles here, yeah, +4 and win. So it's not like it was a massacre or anything. Like if one of these players settles, or if neither of them devs and one of them settles, surely we win. Well, let's book the result first of all. And we'll check hands, I think. So, finally lost one. $27, $31, $28, $21. Red takes us down. 3, 5, 6, 9. So I wanted to see at the beginning of this round what's in the red player's hand, to see if there's a settle, what would happen. So red has Artist Colony, which is a 1-point play, Consumer Markets Refugee World, which is also a 1-point play, Deserted Alien Colony, which I think is 3-ish. Deserted Alien Colony. Well, so first of all, we have to calculate the difference. So devs, if there's no dev, we are even, right? He loses a 4-point gain. So yeah, we're at the same score. So as long as it's settled, it's 4 of us. I guess I need to know what Deserted Alien Colony is. Adaptable uplift race gives him, well, does he have a small dev? Galactic Homefront is the card he has, I think, in play. So he has the other copy in hand. Adaptable uplift race is a 4-point play. And then Deserted Alien Colony. I need to look up base game. It's the 5-4. So we would win on tie breaks if there's a settle no dev, or if there's dev and settle. Actually, dev and settle is even better for us. So the only way we lose here is if there's no settle, which most of the time there is one, so there's that. And if we had called settle ourselves, we lose, I'm pretty sure. Let's just do it though to see. Lose by 4. And I mean, if there was more settles, like, there was one settle that whole game. Like, we were set up to leech settles, and they don't settle. So, I mean, maybe that's partly the reason why, but usually they settle a lot more. So we kind of got screwed up from that happening. But again, that might be because we have military, so they're kind of taking that into account and settle less. So I'm not sure if it's bad luck or good play on their part. else could we do? We could have traded that one round, is the difference. So that first time we cranked. So say here we trade instead of X2ing as military to like set up better. Doesn't seem that great though. Go to 8 cards. It's not bad though. So we'll try it. So trade, produce back. Now we just start X2ing. It's not great also because they never dev. So it's like trading to rely on an AI to dev so we can play SETI later. It's just like it doesn't even make sense to do that. But we'll try it. So discard 2, because they do eventually dev sometimes, once in a while, really rare. And that's what we want. We want to be ready for that when it happens. So doing that, now we just X2 the rest. Well, there's the dev. So I'd imagine we will be playing SETI here, keeping 2. Probably like that. There'll be one more round. We could leech a dev and a settle. Seems pretty good. Oh no, the game ended. So we lose by 4 this way as well. Yeah, that opening. And I mean, we explore plus 5, then we even hit that round, right? And still lost with that 30% probability thing. Where is it? Earlier, I guess. Here it is, yeah. So was there a better way to play this? I doubt there's that much better way. That worked out pretty good. Empath world. It's just... I don't think it's good enough. It's not going to work out as well as what happened, basically. Because what happened was we got a 12-point engine out of it by 6, 6, 6, 6 every round, whereas this we'd have to produce every 2 rounds. So it cuts the engine in half, unless we have like genetics lab. So there's no way that's worth pursuing. So I guess the difference that I want to find out is +1ing here. Or just try it. Because that was more of my instinctual thing before looking at the probabilities. So we get lucky here, get 3 really good cards. So at this point we'd probably be dumping the military. There's no builds. We'd probably settle or naked trade. I guess we're naked trading here. No settle. Brutal. So the pass. Now we trade. Now we settle, I guess. Settle, go to 4, 5, 6, dev. I guess that's okay. I think trade's just better, because if there's a settle, I can play this. Pay 1. Now what? Dev. This is a settle, we can't leech this. Trade is possible, produce. Wow, we have this. It's not that good though here. A weird situation. And then we have the 6-point engine, so are we just producing? Produce X2 is 3 points around. This guy can easily get 3 points around. So I don't think that's enough. We need more. We could trade, we could X2. Dev might be the best. So if there's a settle and we dev, what happens? It's not that good. We go down to 0, produce 2 blue goods. This is one of those spots where you dev, they settle, and everything falls apart. So it's like explore +1/+1 or trade, kind of. I'm kind of tired of looking at this kind of situation. It's the same thing over and over. The same awkward situation. They're not likely to dev. Produce. Leeching Net New Vinland is pretty good. 6.2 card engine. There's worse things. Actually, produce, leeching, settle, and the consume is pretty good. Although I don't know who's going to consume here. Maybe this guy. Probably not, though. Because settling this and then leeching the draw and then producing on all three is pretty good. Is this guy more likely to consume or produce? I would say produce. This guy is almost certainly producing. He gets a card out of it too. So green's going to produce. I don't know if this is actually going to trade is the problem. I don't think he is. And this guy wants to settle if he can. Settle, produce. Settle. Dev. I think we produce here. So this guy actually X2s, this guy produces, and this guy explores. Like, what? This is fine. Not entirely unexpected. Produce here. Okay, fine. And this guy explore +1ing. I guess also reasonable. He doesn't want to trade because he doesn't want to overflow. So discard 1 here. Well, no, I guess we just X2 then. And rely on these guys to build for us. Especially this guy here. So with the 9 card hand, what is he doing? He's settling. This guy's also settling. Unsurprisingly, I guess. So now I'm going to have no... just 9 devs in hand or whatever. 7 devs. And no deving in sight. Just keep it simple-ish. Do that. Produce. So awkward though. Like this guy's not producing, this guy's not producing. This guy is probably not producing. Yeah, you would want to trade, so we have to produce. No builds, I guess I can't complain about that. Discard 1. X2. Still no dev, of course. Playing this doesn't even do anything. So I think we don't actually play it yet. Then we produce. Although I should probably take a look at what people are doing. Still no dev, of course. 4, 8, 9. Go down to 5, 6. Guess we could leech this. Which kind of works, so I guess we'll do it. There's a dev finally. So, what's better here? See if Galactic Homefront is ever worse. Markets gets us what? These goods are accounted for, this good's accounted for, so we have 1 blue good, so this is basically getting us 2 cards, 2 chips. Every time. This is getting us 2 chips, 2 cards, and we can discard for a chip. And then passively, this gets us 2 cards. Passively, this gets us 1. If this produces... I mean, the game's ending here, isn't it? Like, turns out it doesn't matter. So this is a 3, 4, 5 point play. This is a 3, 4, 5, 6 point play. So there we go at the end. Pass on settle, take chip. So we lose here too. And this is doing what? Going empath, world path. So we lose to green this way. The other way we lost 27-31 to red. So we get +2, this guy gets +3. $25 VP chips, that's so crazy. But yeah, I think red got pretty different tableau compared to the other route. But yeah, I don't know if there was much we could have done differently. The problem is there was no dev phases, right, once again. And then I guess the opening hand, maybe we could have played differently. So this is the round 2 action of +5ing. No, +1ing instead of +5ing, right? That was the difference. So it didn't, in this situation, make a big difference. And we got lucky too. And it wasn't enough. So maybe I'm overvaluing this card. Maybe. It's a bit sad that the military way didn't really work either. Like the other way I get Expedition Force and then get these out, which is sick. And I actually never ended up playing this, I don't think. Which is ridiculous. So there was no settle phases, basically. Which is a bit absurd. And then, what about the round 1 action? +1ing makes sense. And what about the opening hand? So can we go Old Earth here? Just check these. Pretty nonsensical, but this would be the I hate military direction, which I kind of do. So if we do +1, there's a settle. Check that, play that, pay 1. +1 again. Produce is just really bad. We get a card and a half per action. Not doing that. Okay, we get lucky here. Well, it's the same thing I guess as before. Move inland's really good. Discard 1. Oh, we get this too, but there's a consume. So we play Move Inland, paid 2. Something like that. So we kind of gonna have a similar setup to before, except we have Old Earth sitting around as well. So an 8-point engine if we want it. This I don't really want to hold on to. We have tons of consume powers. So we could naked trade here, which is probably the best option, but judging by the actions that were chosen earlier in the other versions, I don't expect to hit here. But trade would be the normal play there, I think. So traded here, consumed X2, produced. So we can probably just trade again. No settle again. Weird. I guess it's just the hands they were drawing. And then what now? Produce. Dev. I'm so lost now. There's been so much producing by weird AIs that I feel like I should maybe dev here and these just guys produce or something. It's like, what is happening? I could naked trade. Should probably be naked trading here. Actually, I don't really need to. I can dev leech the settle and the consume. I don't know. Okay, what is this player likely to do? Produce, settle. Trade. For sure. Almost for sure. This player. X2 trade. Trade. So basically, what is this guy doing? So dev doesn't look that good, other than for this, if he produces. But even that, I mean, we have tons of consumer powers. We need settle to happen. So either we naked trade this guy, or we settle ourselves. I mean, settle's not that bad. We get 2 cards back. I think we're going to settle. If there's a dev, we can reach markets. Or this. I think we're going to settle. God damn it. Could have traded. Certainly play this. Pay 1. And then draw 2 back, probably. Gotta be better than 2 cards. And then we produce, I guess. Everybody produces. Settle phase. Pay 3. So what do we have? 3, 4, 5, a 10-point engine. This guy produces every round. He gets 3 points. It's not that much. This guy X2s every round. He just gets 3 points. Okay. So I guess we're okay here. And like if somebody produces, we get a green good anyway, so we have an 8-point, so it's like a 16-point engine. It's pretty sick. So nobody produced though. Nobody produces here either. Dev, settle, consume, produce. X. I feel like maybe we just play consumer markets here. Okay, well, if we dev this and play this, for example, what happens? Go down to 1, draw nothing, unproduce. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4-point play. So that's just better than this, most likely. Game could end next round, not sure though. And this is definitely not worth thinking about. This is also 4. And actually that's more than 4-point play. This is really good here. Because surely we have an extra consume power laying around. Or not. So yeah, these 2, that, 1, so we have 1 extra. So for sure, that's amazing. So we want, I guess it's the same thing. This, I don't think it makes a difference. +1 look or +1 consume, so I guess +1 consume is better. In case we draw consume power. Is that better? Probably doesn't make a difference. Barely, but we do win this way. That's interesting. So, how do I win with this but not with Sparta? I guess the extra consume power has made the difference. And maybe the sequence of cards a bit as well, but... And now it's this guy that was the closest. So everybody took a turn. I guess because he has this card. So I think this was the only way that I won this game, I believe. Also, did I forget? Yep, forgot to put the replay on. I'll have to get used to that. Because yeah, so these... I guess with Sparta I used this kind of thing more, or at least with the other paths I used this more, and here I was able to use Old Earth on the extra goods when I wanted to. And I mean, I had a pretty good finish, considering. Like, this is really good. And nobody had a really crazy engine here compared to us. That's probably the main thing. It's probably just the sequence of the deck more than anything. I mean, we got lucky in X4+1 getting both of these, which is insane with the opening hand we had. And still barely won. Alrighty. Well, that is going to be it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific. More race. Almost certainly more Xeno Invasion, basically. And that'll be, I guess, 3 a.m. CET for the late birds or the early birds in Europe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you later. Have a good night.